So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
Всем привет! Сегодня опять Genshin. Да, и там еще обнова была вчера. Так что будет много чего нового и интересного. Надеюсь, спойлеров для вас не будет. Хотя гарантировать, конечно, этого не могу, потому что не все же проходят весь концепт в первый день. Хотя раньше я, кажется, пробегала таким образом. Это было давно и неправда. Так. Все, теперь чат будет отображаться на экране. Я его, как обычно, читаю. Вот. Теперь можно поиграть. Так, и что нам там добавили? Кошмар. Так. Задание легенд. Угу. Ну ладно. Придется делать. Поговорите с Катериной в Сумеру. Блин, я помню там кадры с трансляции Геншина были, где Катерину того проткнули копьем. Что-то мне страшно туда лететь, конечно. Ну ладно. Катерину и так жалко по той причине, что когда-то это был живой человек, которого превратили в биоробота. А то, что показали в трейлере, это вообще какой-то ужас. Приветик! Загрузка, загрузка, загрузка. Как я их люблю, однако.
We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh?
Поручение commissions.
How about this? Please attend the Academia's academic symposium.
Можете отправиться во второй половине дня в академию на симпозиум и зачитайте перед всеми любовные стихи. Учитывая, как эти мудрецы не любят все творческое, танцы, песни и прочее выражение эмоций, это смертельный фокус, предполагаю. Чико, можете отправиться в порт Ормус и предложить тамошним пустынникам подработать в доме малютки. Ну, учитывая, что пустынники равно разбойники.
The commissioner? Well, Actually, I just wanted to see the two.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. From when she said... So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of the flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands and danced in circles around me.
Так, пожалуй, я кофту надену.
Danced round and round, and
Что-то я
everyone was
замерзаю.
really happy.
Все. Готово.
I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Night of Flowers, raised me. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday. Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy... No, no! We aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the... Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Блин, а как же этот ученый доктор из Снежный смог Элиазар-то побороть практически? Как?
But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring... Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero... So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the Sage's activities. Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing...
Два шага.
Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals.
Да уж.
It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Have you already caught the Sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to... In any case, I probably can't take over the... No way, that's too risky. You mean it'd be too easy to get caught? No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own self. That's a good point. Spoken like the We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages.
Веселые челики. Все варианты ответ неправильный.
According to a popular theory from the Bahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical... Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to... Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages. You're saying we should recruit a...
Аль-Хайтам?
That does sound like it could work. Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Al-Haytham.
О, я правильно догадалась.
Like he acted ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she
I've always liked observing. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic...
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then.
The name Sitaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light soon after. The star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth the star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Sitaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't. She's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity. From my past observations, Sitaria will take a day off from the academia every 10. Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll to prepare. Let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick.
Так.
This should be Sitaria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask?
No, I already have enough information on Sitaria. The most important thing...
Hawking style and...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed...
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future.
Of course. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you...
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's...
Обзывал аниме Архонта, объедала Гео Архонта, подцапал сырых Архонта. Это считается?
Nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospects. No problem. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed.
При нас с нами один из Архонтов находится рядышком. Забавно, забавно.
Your life shall continue on for... Many... Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never...
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most...
I admit that the orientation of today's...
Is that so? Well,
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you revert.
Зашибись, мы будем несколько тысяч лет жить. Замечательно.
Is this another one of Sitaria's favorite...
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helps Sitaria a lot when I start talking with him. Listen carefully to the detail.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
we caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild?
Speaking of, where did you...
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned...
That's nice. You're making...
So is your father still working?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough more...
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure.
Ну да, Акаша же дает порционные знания. Только те, которые, на ее взгляд, могут пригодиться человеку. Интересно, почему? Искусственно ограничивает знания человека.
Thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes by whenever...
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Samira's citizens.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite...
If I recall, you were having a discussion with...
Ah, that's right! I've always been real... After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in, but I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and...
What an admirable spirit for learning.
Sure, but...
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees...
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well...
Thank you so much. As long as I...
Если бы только поступив, она была счастлива. Там же еще выпускные экзамены сдавать надо.
So, was that everybody?
Three familiar faces should be enough.
What's the point of all the information we've collected?
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember that you mentioned that the Aramites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection.
Алый король — это царь Дешрет. Вот тут здесь маленьким шрифтом написано, не знаю, видно вам или нет.
Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guild. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. So, how do we set that up?
Well,
Слушай, это получается, мы с этим алым королем встретимся?
also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her...
Позаимствуем ее знакомого для разговора. То бишь выкрадем и сделаем нехорошие вещи, да?
So, you're going to possess those people we just...
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King. And then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King.
Кстати, на эту роль, наверное, ясновидец больше всего подходит. По крайней мере, ее странное поведение не будет бросаться в глаза.
As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break full...
Exactly. So, best of luck...
А почему нам?
Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as Akasha terminal, the effect will basically...
То есть она просто возьмет нас, впихнет в другого человека и будет нам подсказывать с помощью терминала Акаш? Зашибись, план.
That is pretty convenient.
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever...
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now...
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be...
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow after...
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gem.
Ага. Одну секунду, я сейчас вернусь.
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
Все, я вернулась. Я просто комарка прихлопнула, нужно было руки сполоснуть.
Here she comes. Satori is here. Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot. As for how we'll swing...
А, то есть мы во всех трех, что ли, будем по очереди?
I trust you'll know what to say.
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot.
Такие беспалевные.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right?
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
А, я забыла, как их зовут.
Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work?
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Sorry, your new laugh is just so hilarious. I couldn't help it.
Oh, please pay note. The gods are asking. Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my... And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mighty...
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Oh, wait a... Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation.
То есть Академия распускает ложные слухи? Ай-яй-яй.
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer. Do you...
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry. She looked...
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida.
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sitaria.
То есть мы будем по очереди за всех трех?
He's out of games now. Right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to... Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still...
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray...
Akeem, you don't mean...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who...
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway...
Да уж, коварно.
Come on! Sitaria's already started talking with Shishan.
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in this? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing...
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side.
Please, please stop!
Ай-яй-яй. Перевод был совершенно другой. Пожалуйста, остановись, и нет, перестанет совершенно разные как-то слова. Хотя, может, для контекста?
Now Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards. What should we...
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get...
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to them.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
heretics. What kind of heresy are you talking about?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the... You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become. Child of the Scarlet King, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides,
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just...
that's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages. If you could provide some assistance in this matter.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched... Please tell me, what can I...
How much do you know about the sage's current
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city. And even this...
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work.
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again.
All right, I trust you.
So,
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
the Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Maybe it's time for me to find a god.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we...
pray. But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars.
Дня? По-моему, это все-таки вечер. Не считается. Ладно. Ой, не туда. Ой.
I'm learning more about you all the time.
Ну ладно, проползем. Так и быть.
Oh, that's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a if something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard.
Приветик.
Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet.
Да нифига не ночь. Время было 7 часов вечера. Хорошо, а у тебя как?
No, I think she's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
О, поздравляю.
Not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go
А
to
на какой куртке упал?
to exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But
Здорово.
we're here. Let's go ahead and meet her as we planned.
А давно играешь? Ага. А что, предыдущие лиги на 90 куртки падали? Все, поняла. Ну что, поздравляю. А кто первые 2 лиги? Ты же не гемы сливал, да? Туда, на стандартный баннер. Потому что гемы сливать нужно на ивентовый так-то. Ну, просто как совет.
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us, Paimon feels a little safer.
Понятно, бывает.
There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll
Слушай, реально людей нет нигде.
academia, and that Sataria manages
Ладно,
to
здесь
keep
есть.
all guards.
Ну да, прикинь, у меня после последней легендарки было сделано 35 круток, и выпал делюк стандартный из ивентового баннера. И еще через круток 8, что ли, надо посмотреть, мне выпал еще венти. Я такая, за что? Я просто очень хотела, чтобы мне выпал этот Кандаки 4-звездочный выпало. Поэтому я крутила баннер венти. А мне вместо этого... Я ожидала, что мне будет еще дофига круток. Просто мне было сделано, как говорится, 30 круток. Вот, я еще решил крутануть, и тут хоба, 2 легендарки вместо несчастной Кандаки. А почему его? Еда. В принципе, ничего нового. Скидок пока нет. Бывает. Слушай, кроме ключевых NPS никого нет в городе. Куда все подевались? А, вот, хотел показать. Где оно? История. Вот, Кандаки вот выпало сегодня. Офигеть, я в 8 утра в грозу ходила. Вот. Раз. Ну, здесь вот 5. Плюс 2, 7. Вот он в винте. Так, вот раз, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Вот, да, на 8 куртке после делюка выпал в винте. Вот он. И вот... Сколько-то страничек я перемотала. Вот. После коками вот выпал делюк. А я ожидала, что у меня есть еще запас по времени, чтобы выбить себе альбедо. А теперь он мне снова на альбедо 50 на 50. Еще и курток нужно накопить побольше. Я даже не новую героиню хочу, я хочу именно альбедо. И кто будет у тебя главы ДД? Ну, чисто интересно. Предполагаешь, ты Кицин? Да? Так. Кстати, на первое время, если очень сильно хочется экономить ресурсы, потому что они тебе иногда в ДД Кицин понадобятся, в винте до 60, выше 60 уровня пока не апай. Потом только, когда на него соберешь хорошие артефакты и на мастерство стихий, вот, тогда уже в венте можешь выше 60 продвинуть. Но в чем прикол в венте? Если ты апнешь его выше 60 уровня, тебе нужно будет посмотреть, какие герои достают в его ульте, потому что после 60 уровня ульта в венте начинает подбрасывать с мобов в воздух довольно-таки высоко, и далеко не все персонажи достают. Да-да-да, молодец. Если что, можешь загуглить. Есть даже существует такая табличка. Вот. Где об этом говорится. Какие персонажи достают до ульты в венте, какие не достают. Только из-за этого я до сих пор не апнула в венте выше 60. Вот оно мне. Иногда я уберу в бездну 60 уровня. Круто, круто. Я знаю людей, которые за месяц 53 уровень брали ранг приключений. Артефакты лучше всего фармить, начиная с 55 ранга приключений. Потому что золотые артефакты начинают хорошо падать. А до этого времени артефакты лучше не трогать. Выпали с боссов. Ну и хорошо. Не выпало, ну и хрен с ним. Вот. По такому принципу. Потому что если сейчас будешь пробовать выбивать артефакты, тебе будет они падать редко, как говорится, в 20 заходов до ебух 1. Вот, и вот такую смолу ты можешь просто запросто просрать зазря. Так, где вход в академию? А, где вход? Так, наверху, что ли? Похоже, да. Сразу отряд поменяю. Ага. Барбара. А мой любимый отряд это Аяка, Барбара, Джунли и кто-нибудь еще. Иногда Джунли заменяется Дионой. А тут иногда заменяется... Кем заменяется? Иногда Юэмия, иногда Козочка. Вот. Очень редко Сахароза бывает еще. Когда будет баннер Аяки, честно, пытайся ее выбить. Она самая имбовая ДДшка из всех в игре.
this hour of the night.
Они что, на сознание людей воздействуют?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I
Доктора?
am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor.
О, а за что его изгнали?
If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Samir City.
Они все стали марионетками?
To them.
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
Да уж, вот это поворот. Сяо и казаха? Вот казах точно хорошее вложение. Хотя я его ни разу не крутила, потому что не чувствую того, что он мне нужен. А Сяо, он в прыжках теряет свое хп постоянно. В этом плане Хутао, на мой взгляд, профитнее, конечно. Хотя, если тебе нравится сам Сяо, какая разница, как он играется. Главное, чтобы тебе нравился.
Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she must have been talking about... Yeah. Now that the doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the academia. They're in cahoots with the Fatui.
Академия и Фатуи. Это просто комбо. И те ставили эксперименты над людьми, имеют мозги и охраненное влияние. Да ладно. Если ты будешь играть в игру так, что будешь, как говорится, в ней урабатываться как в настоящей жизни, то ты просто устанешь, себе игра надоест, и ты ее бросишь. Лучше по чуть-чуть, понемножечку. Как говорится, не сразу за один присест килограмм конфет, а каждый день по парочке конфет. И удовольствие больше на каждый день растянешь. И не успеет надоесть. А у нас терминал каши забрали? В игре или нет?
To work on some project when we were staying with him, and even though he turned it down at the time, he might still know something.
Да, у нас терминала каши нет.
There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Я тоже раньше за один день проходила, как говорится, весь новый контент, а потом скучала. Тик. Какая прелесть. Эй, я застряла. Так. Я потеряла, в какую сторону бежать. Как увидела Дондраку, так все. Обо всем забыла и побежала вперед. Приветик. А тут что скрывается? Какая прелесть. Ай-та-та-та-та. Не люблю шипы. Вон он рядышком, прям Дендраку. Надо собрать. Вот так вот иду я по сюжету, вижу Дендраку. Все, пофиг на сюжет. И где там Тигнаря? Офигеть, нас окружили. А, господин изгнанник, это наш мистер Доктора. Но еще бы, мне с моим отрядом бояться того, что на меня нападает десяток мопчиков. Так. Где-то мой сундучок семян.
here. Holly, it's nice to see. To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My LSR has been progressing.
Кошмар. А она с таким ужасом вспоминала свои пробования в Фатуе. Вот именно доктор Доттера над ней эксперимент оставил.
As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He left? But isn't Tainari always... I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher. No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate... to leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent. Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia. In part is, I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research of... A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari... Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. Got it. Will do. See you later, Kale!
Нахида.
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion. Actually, it's very smart of the traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally... Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy. Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust. Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us. When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving it instead. He did something closer to creating hallucinations. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to... What a relief. The doctor sure pulled... I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our... Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time. Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the academia. Feels like he's toying with us. What a net plus! The doctor's combat ability... We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find a... Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's... Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental... You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Мы искренне верим в Сигнаре. В то, что он отобьется.
Surprise! Who's this? She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporno?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this when my consciousness made contact with the gods.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I get... My current self has not only gained true insight...
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to get...
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneo with me. This is still a crucial part of the
We're using that incense?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect...
Что мы делаем?
Okay.
Почему мы это делаем? Мы же ищем Тигнаря. То есть за нами охотится безумный ученый, а мы стоим...
My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god, my creator, my mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human, my family, my friend.
Родные?
By fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted.
То есть человек умер, а он посчитал его предателем? Вот же мусор.
So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laughed in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion.
Ненависть тоже человеческое чувство.
A blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity.
Не, скоромучий мусор.
No need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Человек умирает не по своей воле.
Did we actually just see the Balladeer's memories? Everything, but how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic... Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy...
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Pariporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive...
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait. Have I... already lost my mind?
Да уж.
Wait, something isn't right.
Нет, та самая катсцена. Сейчас остался с Фатуей или нет? Стигнари. Он нас нашел.
Oh, the traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right after that. Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran.
Интересно, если бы консервы уничтожили с сознанием Нахида, Нахида тоже бы все или нет?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body, the doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for... Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without... Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria.
Да, луна — это Нахида, звезды, жители пустыни, иллюзорный обман, Академия. Да, однако...
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that...
Your guess is correct, but the situation...
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the...
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project...
Ну да, я бы тоже отказалась. Очень даже понимаю. Чего? Офигеть.
That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of a...
I did.
Охренеть.
I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matrit. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanagi, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god.
Охренеть. То есть, имея на руках божество, они решили просто создать новое? Неужели они думали, что они смогут его подчинить? Охренеть.
Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sum. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. But then, what is the connection between...
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should...
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better.
Да уж. Приветик. Самый короткий путь 700 метров. Такой себе короткий путь. Ух, чуть телефон не уронила. Было бы грустно его разбить. Проиграл на Тигнаре? То есть ты выбил в стандарте? Ну... В смысле? Аль-Хай там уже обо всем в курсе? Ну, с баннера Вентия, по идее, Тигнари неплохой, тем более новый персонаж. Так что, можно сказать, выиграл, а не проиграл. Хотя да, если с баннера Вентия, то тебе, наверное, было нужнее. Так, сейчас, 1 минутку, я вернусь. Я хочу чай.
Мяв.
Все, я теперь здесь. Спасибо за подписку. Ну, Венди хорош тем, что он стягивает. Вот за это он просто богоподобен. Ну, в принципе, он и есть архонт. Блин, вот бы потом его в баннеры выбить. Но, блин, у меня в планах Альбеда, Нахида. Гемы. Откуда столько гемов взять? Тупуечку. Так. Я тут пошушу пирожку. Новая реакция, это, конечно, круто. Какой блестящий песок. Его даже анимировали здесь. А ты тоже не анимирован.
You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake.
Он же дендр стихии, альхай там. Вообще мечник. Блин. Вот ради новой реакции дендра, и потому что он мечник, я его хочу.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. I can't say.
Он и об этом знал. Вот и сранец.
However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy.
Альхай там у нас все-таки ученый.
And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine knowledge capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos.
В смысле? А капсулы, как они возникают? Вот в чем вопрос.
Which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ainul Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all?
You really have a ridiculous eye for detail.
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have any concrete goals.
Когда они успели узнать, что он тоже отправляется в пустыню?
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably...
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
В деревне Аару вроде бы была Кандаки. Мы ее встретим. О, феечка. Я так чувствую, феечка нам все равно по пути. Кстати, почему у них здесь стена построена не из камня, а из дерева? Или это камень такой странный, похожий на дерево? Так, ладно, не отвлекаюсь пока. Просто феечка была реально по пути. Скорпиончики. Да, вот она, статуя архонтов. Точка интереса. Так, это еще надо 2 статуи, да, активировать? Почему так много ресурсов нужно?
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else.
Не знаю, что видят другие, но я вижу только то, что отец Кам будет очень сложно подниматься. А еще вижу засранца, который хочет нас убить. Просто потому, что мы тут появились. Интересно, а мехои для боевки нанимали людей, которые дрались реально, или как?
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I...
Oh, Haytham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my...
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me.
И он уже знает про нас.
Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the mantra as well.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for... If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise...
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the... As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your
Шорсики.
Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the...
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
Ой. Спасибо. Это было очень неожиданно. Всем привет. Честно, я не знаю, что говорить. Я просто очень-очень смущена. О, к нам и Дефи пришла. Так, а где ее терминал Акаши? Привет, привет. Познакомимся? Кто ты? Неплохо. Чай пью. Пирожок жую. Папа. А сколько лет папе? Он, ну, чисто технический интерес. Ничего такого. И в том плане, это типа в реальности папа или просто игровой папа? Вот. Ух ты, круто. Четверо детей — это сильно. Говорю как человек этот, который вырос в семье из 5 детей, причем будучи старшей. Ну, я еще временами же играю в мобу, вот, в мобу, Mobile Legends Bang, если полное название говорить, вот. И там бывают такие вот папочки. Еще какое испытание, да, не спорю. Ух ты! Слушай, по сюжету нам сейчас сыпет еще и эта мадам. То есть мало бы вот эти пролетели, начали драться, еще и теперь наша Дыхи будет нам в мозги вправлять. Ладно, давай, приятных снов. Удачи тебе там. Не знаю, для чего именно, но удачи лишней не бывает. Спасибо. О, а вон Кандаки.
Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia...
All right, stop yelling.
Ух ты, новая иконка. Один старательно косится, другой старательно игнорирует. Льва, тигра и медведя. Кто есть кто?
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to...
Так, дом деревенского старосты и называть небольшим пространством. Обычно у старост в деревнях бывают самые большие дома, самые такие красивые, празднично оформленные.
Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru village.
Красавица. Кандакия красавица. Как хорошо, что я ее уже выбила.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right, now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand.
Так, а мы что-то обсуждали?
As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict, and now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolute... So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to...
В смысле, лапы зверям песчаная буря? Там что, в песчаной буре еще и монстры какие-то ожидают? Хорошо, что в обычной песчаной буре такого нет. Хотя я бы, наверное, не хотела бы попасть и просто в обычную песчаную бурю.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it.
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway.
Wait, that was you
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explain. While all Hatham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to...
Чего? Путь самоизгнания?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data, I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the... Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission... The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us.
Да уж.
So they really are up to no good.
Ну да, на празднике Сабзирус мудрецы чуть не угробили целый город. Если бы Нахида не вмешалась, и путешественница, кто знает, чем бы все это закончилось.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the Sage. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the Academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me.
Интересно, а если на него следюк повесили? В одной из побрякушек. На нем-то их в изобилии. Подделать внешний вид не проблема. Вес, в принципе, тоже. Положить там свинцовый шарик. И все.
There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage.
Какой ты, однако, красавчик.
The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the divine
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler. After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment...
Ну да, эти долбанутики ради знаний, наверное, это... сделают что угодно.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me... From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom, and I've been less guarded. I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary.
Айн аль-Хамар? Они что, человека стерли?
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive...
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos, so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine knowledge capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the academia. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that...
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything. I took the divine knowledge capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous.
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think...
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family...
В смысле болеет? Говорили, что у нее все в порядке.
I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home.
Creatures? In the sandstorm?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions...
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
Даже не дали подраться.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she okay?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's...
Так, а где там был выход? Кстати, а тут что-нибудь есть? Книжечки там, свиточки. Ладно. Нет, так нет. Ух ты, квестов-то сколько. И сейчас мне скажут, иди, дорогая, выполняй все квесты. А, вот эти животинки.
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted early.
It's been quite a while since
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Order guide you. Stabilize.
Take flight! Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Их уже закончились.
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Старс, наверное.
My apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now.
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly so. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago.
Интересно, а нам в этом патче дадут Эрминсуль потыкать?
Another effect of So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and since
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed...
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village keeper is how Aru village refers to...
Чего? Хранителями деревни называют сосланных сюда безумных ученых? Зашибись.
Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly...
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously...
То есть, мало того, что ученых сослали в деревню, безумных, как говорится, так еще за ними и не следили?
But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few...
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of...
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you...
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my...
Откуда такая уверенность? Он нас первый раз видит.
Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Бульк.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in the strange... The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But, initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of... Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if...
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then!
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story? Really? Lesser...
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali...
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser...
Несуществующий архонт — это у нас Винти.
How should Paimon put it? She's a good archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to... But easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him?
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family.
Дедушка мой дедушка, он моя семья. Да, логично. Очень.
I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was.
Whoa. Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
И вот так, даже прям без стука, мы заходим в гости к человеку.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the mattress?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy?
I had a feeling he...
Huh? You knew this?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding him. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world.
Блуждающий во сне. Красиво назвали лунатиков.
Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time.
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert have... It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way.
О, то есть брать с собой в поход маленького ребенка они считают хорошей идеей?
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow!
А если не будет?
Excuse me. Did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, when I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and...
Okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last... But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they...
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others.
Gotcha. Thank you.
И все? Я ожидала получить больше информации.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, the last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared. Just... And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't...
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. Hey, you're look...
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found... I've known you since you were very young. So as far...
Wow, what a nice guy.
Если бы был таким хорошим, он бы его установил.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't say anything for now. Let's head over there.
И снова новая глава? Какие у них красивые наряды. В Лео костюмчики подешевле будут. Но в плане у них меньше украшений, меньше узоров, не такие цветастые.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to...
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this still. You say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to...
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of...
Они, похоже, путают этого алого короля с этим со скоромучей вот.
Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared?
Чего? В жертву?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah, bro, this guy's something else. Just look.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay?
Okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the...
Hey, go...
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a ship.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants...
То есть они планируют войну.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the... Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else...
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendron...
Where is this radical...
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably...
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare...
Sounds like you're not too close with the radical...
No, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. So you'd best just stay home and don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this.
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrified. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Да, такое ощущение, как будто я медленно читаю интересную книжку. Иногда я, конечно, квесты ненавижу, а с другой стороны, их так интересно читать.
Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Wait, but are you okay? Are you getting...
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the...
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too? Are you...
Yes. Now that I concentrate.
В смысле? А почему он не сразу учил этот запах? Хотя, может быть, это по причине того, что путешествие от него в обморок свалилось, поэтому стал чувствительнее к этому запаху?
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
Цель находится где-то в этой области. О, грибочек. Так, ага. Четкие, значит, свежие. С учетом того, что недавно была песчаная буря. Это очень интересно. Ага. Я тут бегаю, ищу. А оказывается, нужно было просто подождать, пока он дойдет.
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. The scent is quite faint, but still.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone...
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps even deep within the clutches of madness. They still yearn for their knowledge-seeking.
No, Grandpa.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh? Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to...
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took...
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
Интересно, как звучит голос в японской озвучке у Сайна? Просто мне кажется, там чуть-чуть есть несоответствие небольшое.
The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friend.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was in the—
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to leave
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall.
Подслушивает.
Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the— It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to
Стоит и не палится.
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well,
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the Radical...
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. A whole lot of them are known to these parts.
Круглоглазый мясник. Почему круглоглазый? Рябой бандит я еще пойму почему. Наверное, следы от ветряной оспы. А почему бородатый ятаган? Почему?
These guys have one thing in common. That's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the Academia.
И Сайна до сих пор этого засранца не спалил? Ай-яй-яй.
Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway.
Tia, you're amazing! You're
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten— The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making— Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also— I need to go around and ask some questions.
Так, а путешествие с ними пойдет, да? Уж то, как она отличается от других, это уж явно бросается в глаза.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out—
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Побежал, побежал, красавчик. Ну ладно, не красавчик. Он вообще некрасивый. Это из серии «Как человека, совершившего большую глупость, называть умницей».
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Почему это мы здесь не чужие?
Every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall...
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though—
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could. No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I...
Да уж, этот квест однозначно интереснее, чем в день Сабзерус, когда много-много раз повторялось одно и то же.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's,
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and...
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the up.
Yeah. Have you seen Edgar, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that...
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like...
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can
Так. Эх. Не, можно было, конечно, обойти, и, может быть, это было бы быстрее. Ну, что есть, то есть. Порой я очень ленивая задница.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is...
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Столько людей.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in...
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept it close. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the...
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are?
So you and Delavar have been part...
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Edgar, you're here too, huh?
И что мы будем дальше делать, интересно?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traders are what us...
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet...
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping in...
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only...
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Нам все еще не дали за нее подраться?
Now you shall perish. Let's dance. Whirling snow.
Ик.
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only... I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real... That so-called flame main is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain... That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you...
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all... Okay.
Хорошо, что мы это не видели.
So you've been planning this since we were in Aruville?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investing.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the alcohol, has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar always ran...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some
Wow, what a genius idea! What?
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before...
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday... I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, but I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong. Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Ну да, логично связать с Маули. Если бы мы их бросили в пустыне помирать, то кто-нибудь над них бы наткнулся, сделал бы своими союзниками и вылез бы в такие проблемы. А так мы вроде бы как бы о них позаботились, на самом деле оставили их под надзором.
All right. I'll be in touch.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offender...
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Дождитесь утра. Опять перематывать время. Так.
on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never—
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
Помог немного допрашивать.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
О, да, я правильно угадала.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Интересно, благодаря нам всем деревенский староста хоть в своем доме ночевать может? Ну так, чисто из интереса. Его дом самый большой, и при этом он в нем не может жить.
Do I? Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us up.
Они даже не связаны.
We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
И даже не валяются.
You fear death yourselves. Yet you do not hesitate to place the lot. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community. And you come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones toward—
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
Как-то в детстве я смотрела один типа исторический фильм, естественно, снятый по одной из книг. Ну, историческая литература же есть, такая приукрашенная немного. Вот. И там, помню, один бедняк на плахе палача попросил отпустить его. И рядом с палачом, по-моему, стоял монах. И он говорит палачу: отпусти же его. И дальше тень на стене явно нам показывает, что бедняку отрубать голову. Сообразно так его отпустили, конечно. Интересно, здесь точно так же отпускают?
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the people of Aru village care little about which god is in power. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us.
То есть они еще не все рассказали? Звездец.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. It's how some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you...
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not... that guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man... Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. It strikes me now that this secretive character...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hand. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying...
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to...
Ага, новое применение. Как делать из людей марионеток наподобие Катерины.
Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Вау, 900 опыта приключений. Я что, 60 ранг скоро возьму? Я не то чтобы к этому стремилась, но было бы прикольно. И кандаки я выбила, можно больше не крутить, хотя, конечно, жаль. Да тут, в принципе, и крутить-то не на что. Может, еще порцию чая взять?
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Woo! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here in...
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Hey, what's with the silence?
Такая мордашка. Прям ми-ми-ми.
You never think things through before asking questions.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Ну да. После этого у нас аниме-марафон стал бродяжкой. Кого он там еще обижала? Придумываем прозвище.
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. Makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly... Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep...
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we... Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with...
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to...
Yeah, you're all talk.
Слушай, а было бы прикольно увидеть фем-версию этого Аль-Хайтама. Я, конечно, не любитель переделывать мальчиков девочек, девочек мальчиков и так далее. Но я думаю, этот костюмчик смотрелся бы очень интересно на девочке.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
А уж как интересно смотрелся бы этот костюмчик на девушках, вот если бы он был один в один, без всяких дополнений. Словами не передать.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the...
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that,
What does that mean?
how do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing?
Отрицательно, я
In
думаю.
other words, do you truly believe every single word the village...
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Gandhi said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the I mean...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words...
Then why would she lie?
Ну, она не совсем собрала.
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for...
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's...
А, то есть путешественница пойдет и никаких подозрений не вызовет. Зашибись, логика. Я просто в восторге. Вау, мы на этот раз стучим в дверь.
As we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you... Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. Before, I wouldn't even have the Traveler. Do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. But even so, we've met lots of people people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Hatham told us you have your reasons.
Красивые у нее волосы.
Understand?
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Возможно, там, да, считается.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I did...
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told all. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely... It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often.
А зачем она прислушивалась к плачу?
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital
Больница?
from the village.
Офигеть.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for...
Yeah, let's go.
Не ожидала, что у них здесь есть больница. Вау, нам даже не в ту сторону. Так, судя по всему, феечка в нужную нам сторону идет. Да? Прям по отметочкам, как надо. Разбойники. Где феечка? Ага, она здесь. Так, тут что-то еще есть, интересно? Ой, морковка. Это странно, ничего. Еще продукты. Так, бульк. Ты логично, что в пустыне везде песок. Хиличуры везде. Интересно, а есть где-нибудь место, где хиличуров не будет? Звук сундучка, я его слышала.
This is the one.
Ура! Мне не пришлось переключать на этого персонажа.
Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she
взрывные бочки.
We have time to burn. Until then. I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which...
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up.
Он над нами стебется. Местную физику, что ли, изучает? Или философию какую-нибудь? Ты получишь много знаний, разбогатеешь и будешь содержать меня. Ух, как весело. Сколько патчей прошло с момента, как Паймон это осознала и сказала спасибо. Офигеть. Мы даже время не перематываем.
There it is.
Почему я звук этот не слышу? У меня игра слишком тихая.
It's from below. Something is off about the interior here.
Зачем в больнице нужен был подвал? Не, предположу, конечно, что там прохладное место, где можно хранить лекарства. И... В принципе, там можно хранить людей. Вау, куда-то нас переместили. Не знаю, как они, но я хочу полутать здесь все. Вдруг что-нибудь интересное налутаю, ключ какой-нибудь и так далее. Только по этой причине я стараюсь все, что вижу, лутать. О, я вижу дендраку. Интересно, интересно. Так, что нам хотите сказать? Куча рыхлого песка. Так, сахароза. Ладно, давайте возьмем на путешественницу. Она хотя бы 90 уровня, в случае чего. Как все красиво сверкает. Ага, вон там еще есть. Они что, прям здесь на циновках спали? Какие суровые люди. Нет, дверь закрыта. На яке без щита не так интересно играть, к сожалению. Так, спускайся, давай, засранец. Уничтожать тебя буду. Так. Где-то здесь еще один момент есть у нас, да? Этот зажгли, тут зажгли. Ладно. Надо было быстрее нажимать кнопочку. Сама лошара. Ага, вот она. О, скорпиончики и какие-то новые птички. Таких раньше не было. Тя-тя-тя-тя. Я и забыл, что эта штука очень интересно взрывается. Угу. Вот, про что я и говорила, когда лутал все подряд. Все-таки тут не требуется ключ. Медно-фасолевый суп. Интересно звучит. Блин, я теперь тоже хочу перекусить чем-нибудь вкусненьким. Мне вкусненькое, конечно, есть на кухне, потом. Всего лишь надо выйти, наложить, подогреть. Что такое бирьянь? И картофельная водочка. Шакшука. Фасолевый пирог. Звучит очень интересно на самом деле. Так, а здесь что-то есть? Ага, мы тут спустились. Еще надписи. Человек? Здесь? Почему он держит за голову? Ему больно? Кто это? Вау, куратором. Что он тут забыл?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like
Его намеренно свели с ума?
For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him.
Следы трупов?
There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was
loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were... The symptoms are identical. Looks like we've...
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Он исследовал капсулу Архонта. Спасибо за подписку. Кошмар какой.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this.
А у меня не кошка девочки. У меня ушки, которые прикреплены к наушникам. Причем в реальности тоже. Ну ладно, в реальности они чуть-чуть не совсем прикреплены, они пока это обшиваются бисером. Вот, но скоро будут прикреплены. Спасибо большое. И тебе тоже удачи. А что это будет?
First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, as well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities...
Да, здешняя академия — это те еще засранцы.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to... Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief.
А большой гарем? О, ну знаешь, в последнее время я увлеклась чтением не просто манги, а манхвы, вот, и так получилось, что там попадается манхвы, где очень много вариантов с гаремниками. Забавно читать. Вот недавно я прочла 2 манхвы, вот. Собираюсь еще. В чем-то у них есть нечто общее, но такие увлекательные, рисовка прикольная. Мифология, история о чудовищах. Ну, кстати, мифологию мне очень нравилось, когда я училась в школе на уроках истории. в учебнике были ссылки на легенды. То есть идет основной текст, допустим, по истории древнего мира, там, древнего Египта, древней Греции. И внизу были такие на полстраницы ссылки, вот, на краткое содержание легенды. Вот. Ну, про легенды и мифы. Вообще было очень увлекательно читать, конечно. Временами я слушала не учителя, а читала учебник. А про каких чудовищах? Ну, про каких чудовищ ты предпочитаешь читать? Про которые были в реальной мифологии или в аниме?
The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to our...
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, an exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Охренеть. Вот где уж чудовище, так вот здесь. Информация из их мозга может быть использована для изучения капсул знаний. Свистец. Ну да, понимаю. А мне все было интересно, а почему эти чудовища нападают? В чем причина их таких действий? Можно ли их было как-то сделать так, чтобы они не нападали и так далее, и так далее? Типа, можно было их не убивать? Вот. А потом такую же точку зрения я вижу... Ну, книжку я не читала, конечно, в игру играла относительно, но заметила, что Ведьмак, да, старается тоже выяснить о том, что не просто убивать старается чудовищ, а пытается именно выяснить, а вдруг это был человек просто проклятый. Вот.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
Звездец. И потому горький плач раздавался глубокой ночью, когда никто ничего не видит. Но, надеюсь, вы хоть далеко в лес не забредали, а все-таки в лесу опасно. Кстати, если вы, будучи маленькими, фехтовали, там не находили у себя ролевые клубы, там бы понаучили бы вас фехтовать. Реконструктор, ролевики.
So, the human brain...
I'm the academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, I can't help but wonder. The academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this for—
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The academia's actions run contrary to their rules.
Искренне надеюсь, что в реальной жизни такой технологии не существует.
Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are this matter needs to be corrected. Just
wait. Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are there is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want.
Так, в скандинавской мифологии есть только один, кто мог поднять Мёльнир, молот Тора, его сын Магни. И в день Рагнарока смерти богов возьмет молот отца и продолжит за него битву. Так, если все боги умрут в этот день, то его сын наверняка же тоже, он ведь тоже получается бог. А как тогда он бросит молот?
The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weird—
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's... He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us.
Если у него предназначение, и он станет новым всеотцом, то есть он будет богом, но все старые боги умрут. И он станет типа новым богом. Странно. Он одновременно и старый, и новый, да, получается?
We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru village.
Ура! Мы нашли ключ. И мы подошли к границе чего-то. Ой. Так. Ужасное место. Так, а куда нам бежать теперь?
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
Звездец. Кстати, мне попадалась одна книжка Макса Фрая. Вот. У него есть, точнее, это автор женщины, которая писала под мужским псевдонимом. Вот. Там был интересный момент, который она высказала, что во всех мифах и легендах, особенно о конце света, везде фигурируют только европейцы, а азиатов и прочих рас там нет. То есть это был рассказ про судный день, и типа дьявол пришел заключать сделку. Вот. А, нет, там Бог пришел заключать сделку, но делал из нас дьявола. Вот. Дьявола, который должен был вызвать как раз тот самый Рагнарёк. Не читал, не смотрел? Очень интересная. И серия сама интересная, и все остальные книги у нее тоже интересные. Макс Фрай.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the academia's...
Да, только про холодное оружие или еще любишь читать про то, как сражаются на этом оружии?
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Since Divine... Yet... They fled once we were headed to the village.
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst.
Вау. Либо не шпион, а тот, на ком висит подслушивающее устройство. Терминал Акаши. Например...
One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available,
Ну, я думаю, это
details.
должно быть такое было у всех. Но чтобы брать на брата, какой кошмар.
Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus, if you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsule. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
Звездочки это антимат система сработала. Пиши через пробелы, если что. Ну, либо циферками заменяй, если там можно заменить букву циферкой. Мне так кажется, ты хотел написать слово «диманус», да? Или какое слово хотел написать? Ну, в принципе, да, логично. Потому что, не, конечно, в древнем времени были и бои, когда, типа, рыбак против ощеренной рыбки. То есть рыбаку буквально давали только сеть, гладиатор рыбаку. Вот. А рыбке этой самой давали оружие. Меч, копье, что там он предпочитал носить. И одевали его в железо. И кто победит? Тот, кто опутает сетями того, кто с оружием, или же просто тот, кто с оружием, добьет того, кто, грубо говоря, безоружен вообще. То есть такое у них тоже было, я помню.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
Интересно.
The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trust...
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea.
Кстати, а почему этот ученый, интересно, стоит, и у него уже не болит голова?
If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after...
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now if the academia is trying to avoid Sino. Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
Нет, ребенку сюда не надо с нами.
You want to go too?
В смысле? В таком случае будь осторожнее.
You have to promise?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise. I'll be careful.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Звездец.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
I'll be awaiting your good news.
Please, stay safe.
Так. Ну ладно, пока оставим так. Я вижу тендерку. И даже по стеночке не придется, потому что я сверху прыгнула. А вот мы постепенно продвигаемся в эту сторону. Где там был телепорт? Чуть впереди. Столько бабочек. Интересно, почему? Они издеваются? Ну его нафиг. Ага, точка обзора есть. Пожалуй, я в следующий раз открою точку телепорта. Кстати, интересно, а почему в пустыне зеленые бабочки летают? Нелогично немного. Были бы они оранжевые, было бы логичнее.
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand.
And Paimon got running around everywhere without
Ну да.
Okay. So we have to dig it out?
Еще окажется капсула?
These are like
Нет?
fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset.
Какой ужас.
Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of...
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been intact, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
But running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ей уже не в первый раз так задают вопрос. Перекати поле. Стоять! Я тебя должна разбить. Стой! Падла! Укатился. Надо было лучником стрелять. Кто же знал, что перекати пульс и гнет с обрыва?
Voices over there.
Голоса.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Только не стелс-миссию, пожалуйста, только не стелс. Я не умею стелс.
Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it.
Tia? Why would you... Tia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? What?
Well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village.
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for your...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people...
Wait! What's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of...
Ага, все начнется с самого начала. Появится первое озеро, из него выйдут рыбки на землю, появятся млекопитающие и так далее, да?
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than...
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul...
It's not too late yet. The village keep... Mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Aramite?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the
Чего?
forces and fight.
Превратить этих ученых в армию? Они с ума сошли.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are...
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed.
It's impossible to communicate with some... Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their... These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trick...
Precisely. Any wise...
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with...
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a mean...
You are the scribe.
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve...
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but...
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm.
Может, не надо?
Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia...
An arm from the flame main. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back...
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your...
Чего?
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to...
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm...
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Какой-то кровавый регион.
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the...
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your...
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry, but some...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the like if it came down to it. You would not...
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and let...
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon to...
Кошмар. Ладно, я на сегодня закончу. Я уже в шоке слишком большом, да и время спать. Всем спасибо, всем до следующего раза.